turning back, feel the bass lines rise. Starships fly, we react, dancing through the night sky. Rushing through into time where we find galactic dreams come true. Universe intertwined in this dance with me and you. We are future beings. We are future beings. We are together we let go. Futuristic vibes they show in the cosmic glow. We are future beings. We are future beings. We are future beings. In the cosmos feel that ease.
Hello, Chad. How are you doing? Let me just do a volume check real quick. Excuse me if this hits a it hits some sort of like nice. Okay, that sounds good. Sweet. All right. Okay, I think we are ready to get started. I'm just answering my UX dev. Good old Mako. One moment. We're gonna be we're cooking up some stuff for the LoreKeeper dashboard so that people can see what is going on with the actually, let me also make a little announcement here for the stream. Yo, Mako. So, something fancy on the background, but blurred text. Yeah. It needs to look like something like don't know. This Steam. Steam for TTRPGs. So, all right. I mean, that kind of fancy, that kind of fancy. Really readable text. And nice image. All right. Maybe a dark gradient overlay, or on text part is over image, or something like that. Okay, so first off, on YouTube, our good friend Mixtape Wizard Kelly. Oh yeah, Mixtape Wizard Kelly, what's up? What's up, bro? Or ma'am, Mixtape Wizard. Wizard, what's up, Wizard? So this is what we're gonna be doing. A little bit of everything. Over here, I've got my my RL agent simulation thing going. This is on my GitHub. I should probably make my properly. Yo, oh snap! Air fried pizza. I never even thought of that. Pretty good. I'm gonna have to figure out how to like watch both chats at the same time. I was trying to get my a bot set up for Twitch. Essentially, it's just IRC protocol. Because I was gonna set up like essentially just like an agent there that would hook up, hook up to Twitch, maybe do some chat summarization for me, maybe do a couple of other things, and then maybe do some like possible responses if people have callouts, and that could lead into like all the crazy Twitch gamification stuff. So that might be interesting. Yeah, chat. Oh, agent is not doing so hot. Agent 15. Yeah, start with the basics. So you're learning how to write agents. That's pretty interesting. What are you? What type of agents are you trying to make? In what environment? Like, these guys are reinforcement learning, for instance. Let's see an agent that's actually doing better. Okay, so all of them are gonna have deaths, and except for the predators, because they never die. I suppose it would have been more of a balanced simulation if the predators could die from not eating. But hey, we could always get back into that one. Oh, sent a comment with the link to the video I'm watching, but it didn't. Oh yeah, it doesn't allow posts. Are you on the Discord? Like machine learners or something? Where'd you find me? Like, did you come off of one of the communities that I hang out on? Oh yeah. Well, okay, like I'm on the Bandoko server. I'm on Civitai. Oh nice, YT recommendations, cool. Yeah, they have been giving me a little bit of play in the algorithm. That's kind of cool. If you don't know who I am, or like what the type of stuff that I do, without like I'll TLDR my channel. I just really like machine learning, AI, and I'm also an entrepreneur, and I've been programming for a long, long time, decades. So I work with essentially like any language you want me to work with, or I want to work with at the time, whatever gets the job done. And my most recent foray to AI agents it's called LoreKeeper. That's actually a different YouTube. That's what I was working with Mako on here. And by the way, do you mind if I put like just a tiny little bit, like I don't know, turn it way down music, like something for some ambience, but maybe not this. I'll put the cinematic video track playlist on. Yeah, that alternate 80s. I have to generate some more. So yeah, Wizard. I'm gonna try to keep the thing moving a little bit so that you see all this ADHD shit that I've got going on my screen, right? So, do you prefer Wizard or Kelly? Oh, thanks. So like this thing on the side here that I'm working on, I'll answer you once you catch up to my latency. So here we go. This here on the right, what it was doing before, we're not the court. Programming basics. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Eliza. Eliza has been around for so long. She's been around for Eliza. DOS. I love the name of this website, My Abandonware. Oh gosh. Yeah. Eliza was one of the first. 1988, baby. Oh, cool. Alright. I like calling you Wizard. I got a couple other friends whose handle is Wizard. Seems nice. So this back in the day, it was using a super small network. I should click up these to see. Okay. Oh gosh, does this bring back some memories? Before, the blue screen didn't mean the blue screen of death. It just meant you had some taste and style in what you made in DOS. The blue screen only became the blue screen of death in Windows. So, yeah. Hi, I'm Eliza. What's your problem? Imagine Dave. Say, do you have any psychological problems? Who doesn't? What does that suggest to you? I suppose that we're all defective in some way. I see. Do you want to know more? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand you fully. So it was like not quite so useful. Like, yeah, BBS chat. They were putting it on BBS chat, but they were already like, the whole idea of like a chatbot going onto some interface was already quite. Okay, so Udio, if at one point somebody watches this from Udio, please, when I click play on a new playlist, that doesn't mean I want to add the playlist to the current list of stuff that's playing in the queue. Like, I can't even see what's going on in the queue, and I just wanna click play on a playlist and then have that playlist play and all the rest of my songs leave the queue. Thank you. I hope this message reaches you. Message in a bottle. All right, so let me close this right. So Eliza, yeah, gosh, right, on the Commodore 64. Woohoo! And then she's got quite a lot of remakes. In the 90s, they stuck the late 90s, they stuck a neural network in her. It wasn't that great though. In 1999, I made a chatbot. I called it Roland, a little DOS chatbot, and all it used was like a little fuzzy search, and it had this very interesting way of learning, which was like, it was just a super simple system, right? If it didn't understand what you said, if what you said was a question, then it would ask you that question. It would say, I don't know, and then ask you the same question. And then it would take your answer and remember that in sort of like this fuzzy database for the inputs. So you have your input text, and then you have like this fuzzy character by character search for all of the stuff that it remembers in the database. And then it'll just output from that. I mean, it didn't do anything like interpolating between those things. That's like what latent space does in these newer architectures. But it was really fun. And by the time it got to around like 4,000, 5,000 chats in the database, it started to really get like, it started to really feel like it was a conversation. And my little sister tested. She was my beta tester. And yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Chatbots are fun. And over the years, they've changed a lot. Like, I remember, I was pretty young then, but I remember there was people, like somebody hit me up in email or whatever asking if they could include the code in like a game that they were making, an RPG game. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Go for it, you know? That's why I put it out open source. So I guess, I don't know, fast forward to like 25 years later, and I'm essentially back full circle to the same thing, except with a better model. Pretty cool, pretty fun, nice little arc that I've enjoyed. If you were wondering what was on the screen down here, I don't want to change this to white because I don't want to blind people. So it might be hard to see the text there. So this is a world that I was generating over here. Poetis. And what this does. Where is Poetis? Where are you? Oh, you're not in there? Eh. So inside my data, oh god. Hate pyvems. Alright. Just the Vem folder itself inside of the thing. Like, it should just be ignored completely by VS Code. I never look at it I almost never look at it. I just use inline tools to get information about what's installed in that virtual environment. It's so much easier than looking through folders. So let me just make sure I'm not ignoring anybody over on Twitch. Still see you, Twitch. All right, so just because I figured out how to fork an RTMP stream to 2 different places doesn't mean I don't love you anymore, Twitch. Just means, you know, you gotta share me. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm an AI. No, I don't know. I guess it's just my voice. Just have a young sounding voice. Oh shit, okay. I mean, you know. You never know with all this AI slop on YouTube. Like, that was the, oh my gosh, okay. That's what I want to do real quick. I had this idea for a meme, to use Flux to make this meme, foul dev. So here we go. GitHub. Go. Those are my 2 GitHub accounts, LKSAI and News Bubbles. On I don't have them linked on YouTube, because I just, I hadn't had the time to really think about that and set that up. Okay, let's switch to the. Oh. All right. So the idea behind this is what I was about to say, which is, I guess I started streaming in 2025 because I heard the call for content, because AI needs content. So what we're gonna do on this prompt, a homeless robot begging with hand outstretched toward the camera, and another hand holding a sign that says, "Will infer for data." Sadness. All right. Will infer for data. Almost. You almost got it. Well, okay. You know what? Maybe we'll just use that anyway, because it is the current standard of AI. Is that like a rich look at the other robot next to him? The other robot is a rich robot who's like telling this robot to go get a job, to go take somebody's job right now. He's like, oh god, I will infer for data. And the other guy's like, I'll go say, that's some design. That's some UX design for me, Mako. Oh snap, it's a vid. Oh, whoa. Random Georgian person in the background. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I won't share the video because he's got his screen sharing going on for his Steam account, but yes. Dude. Exactly. I think David should definitely. David's my CEO for LoreKeeper. Hey. And me, I am the IT department. Because I have, okay, I'm not the entire IT department. My UX dev is Mako. Currently in Georgia. And protests going on in Georgia. Still blazing, even though it's not in the news. Hear about that stuff. That's the jam. All right, so. Okay, where was I? Will infer for data. But look at this robot, the texture of this robot, he's super clean. And this robot is all dirty and ragged. And look at his sign. He wrote that with a broken font. This robot's all super nice and shiny, and he looks very, what's the word, condescending. And this guy's oh, even his little eye things are going down. This is perfect. So, let's save that. Got it. I don't want to mess with it right now. Okay, fine. I'll just keep it like this. We'll keep it rolling. Okay. So by the way, here's a thing. Here's a quick little thing, wizard. So you said, I think earlier you said where I'm at in the course is a far cry from telling what type of agent I'm building. It's mostly been a refresher of programming basics. Have you heard of Eliza? Yeah, that's so the other part of what you said, the refresher of programming basics. I mean, a lot of programming takes place in the imagination and theory. And this is what people don't understand. On one of my other videos, some person made a snide comment saying, I thought this was Nate Code's AI, not GPT Code's AI. And I'm like, bro, I'm a senior dev. I'm literally not even a senior dev. I'm like the CTO of a company. You think I have time to write every single line of code of the things that like my company's building and all of my projects and everything like that? No, I know exactly what I want, and I can prompt for it, which in the end of the day, like, you could take the other argument all the way, like, oh, you didn't write that in assembly? You didn't write that in binary machine code directly to memory as inefficiently as possible? So, you know, sure, I didn't. You know, nowadays what happens is there's this thing called large language models, which can model human language, and it allows the interface between humans and computers to be just a little bit augmented. And that makes all the difference. You know, there's a lot of people who hate on it, and there's like a lot of politics about it and stuff. I maintain sort of a neutral thing. Like, I will play with it. I will see what it does. I'll see what's going on with it. But I'm not gonna, like, use it to spam out a whole bunch of AI stuff all over the place. Will I use it? Oh, wait. Jeez. I think there's a cat knocking on my door. No, that's not a cat knocking on my door. That is a neighbor. All right, so, like, okay, this is using a library called Reinforce.js, okay, in AI. So in the field of machine learning, or in the various fields of what people popularly call AI, there's a lot of different camps, okay? There's belief systems. Literally, there's like almost essentially technologist religions inside of the field of research of AI, because that's like how fervent the followers of like this way works better got. That's how divided things get. Yeah, I mean, definitely. But also, domain knowledge is the king. Like, everything in life will still always be a skill issue. So having skills is good because it can get you out of a lot of things, or it can get you into a lot of things, depending on where you want to go. It's like, if you have the skills of programming, right? You've learned the things that are necessary, right? Like, it's the same with machine learning, right? They assume, because they can't see how all this math inside of the actual models really work out in a way that's interpretable by humans, they just kind of assume that it's learning the things necessary to learn, the skills that are necessary to learn, essentially the features or whatever is what it's called, to solve the problem, right? And then you can generalize that learning to other problems. So that's, why is that like that? Well, it's not because like some guy was super amazing and came up with this idea. It's because we do it all the time as humans. So it was like, it's almost common sense when you think about learning, right? So okay. I think in university, or in the legacy scholastic system, I like to call it, you've got courses, for instance. I think one of my friends, I forget which university it was, but one of my friends was telling me about the different courses that were available, and he was like in an ML course. And I was like, okay, ML, and he was showing me the kind of like the schedule for the year on the topics that they'd be discussing, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, but like, where's reinforcement learning? And he was like, oh, that's a whole other course. I was like, oh, okay. So in a machine learning course, I guess now what, reinforcement learning is a separate genre now? Cool. All right. So these are reinforcement learning agents. They use Andrej Karpathy's Reinforce.js. Yeah, so Andrej Karpathy is, he worked for OpenAI. You might have, I don't know, you might have actually seen some of his stuff or seen him talking or something along those lines on YouTube, if you're into looking for AI stuff on YouTube. This is GitHub. He recently was just doing, he started this organization called Eureka, and he was recently doing like a lot of stuff. Looks like, so actually more recently he's been on vacation. And this is when he was like peak committing, but he was making his own, essentially his own GPT. He likes to train deep neural nets on large data sets. That's his shtick. And he's worked for OpenAI. He's worked for, what the Elon Musk company, Tesla. So he's worked for Tesla. And yeah, so, and he, over his time programming, like if we go all the way back to the 2010s, I mean, this guy, look at his commits. This is his own personal GitHub too. Like he's definitely picked it up over the years, eh? Karpathy. Like he had a moment, I guess, what would it be, like this time, this is where he started working for like Tesla, right? This is where he got super busy, being like the head of some department or something. Super busy. Super busy all these years, up to 2020. 2020, he got a little bit stuff done when COVID happened. And then like 2021, he started to like get a little bit more life into his GitHub. And then of course he started working for OpenAI. So he was still doing stuff, he was still inspired and things like that, but he didn't have like as much time, playing a different role in a different company. And then like, yeah, last year around this time, he mentioned that he was leaving at OpenAI. And then I think a little bit after that, Eliza left. And then it was like, bam, he just like went crazy. And he started this, well, not crazy. He's not crazy. He's a genius. But at the same time, you know, like this guy's good. And Reinforce.js is like one of his repositories that it allows you to just sort of see exactly the math behind sort of an old school reinforcement learning agent system. I'll just say it like this. LLMs are an AI model that is frozen. So they're trained, and then they are like, what happens is they get trained, and then there's like inference time. So you can't like train them as you're talking to them. Like they can't learn from what you're saying until the next training run, and then that gets updated into their system and so on and so forth. So you're interacting with a frozen model. In reinforcement learning, it's like a video game. You're like an agent that's inside of. So we could probably say it's something like this. What was that one? Deep learning Atari. So it was DeepMind. Yeah. A lot of these guys. So and then DeepMind made sort of like went so deep into this whole idea of reinforcement learning. I mean, they've gone into a lot of other things, but they started out in the video game world, making these models that could like play MOBA games, real-time strategy games, working up from like something simple, something more complex. So yeah, cool. That's what programming is becoming. Written a line of code in a year. Yeah, okay, so on that note too, I probably write less code, but I push more repositories. But the code that I write, I always make sure that I know exactly what's going into the code, and I make sure to correct anything that's wrong. or I make sure that GPT corrects it by telling GPT exactly what I need, compared to what it's made me already. So it's kind of like having the ability to have that, to know that direction and know when it gets stuck somewhere, how to get it out of that. That's going to be like what's becoming, what essentially programming or other things like this can become in that direction. I'm not saying they will become that, because there's a lot of like fatalism going on right now. So perfect, dude. I love you, Mako. Okay, so check it out. Here we go. So maybe it's not fatalist. It's what's the word? It's not like an extremist. It's not a fatalist. It's something where it's like when you speak about something, you speak in absolutism. You speak in absolute terms. So it's like AI will do this, or AI will do that. When in fact, AI is like a concept. It won't do anything. Humans will do things. But beyond that, how do you know? Source, trust me, bro, right? But also, I am a little bit of a fatalist as well. Totally depends on the subject, though. I definitely, I am older, but I was not an emo. We'll say that. Yeah. Yeah, that's where the fear lies, in the absolutism, right? I mean, we have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. And I think that we all got trained on some pretty intense fear of the unknown back in 2020 with Bobo Walters. Yeah, so I think that first off, the other thing is, right now we're letting these large companies define what AGI is. That's like letting George Bush Jr. define what a terrorist is. And that's exactly what happened. And you get all the crap that happened in I'm not even going to say any of the other stuff that comes along with that, because that's not where I'm going with this YouTube, and the algorithm is watching me. But what I mean is that the term AGI is not agreed upon by anyone, and all these companies that are making a lot of money are rushing to figure out that terminology. And this is not so that they can make AGI, it's so that they can take the limbo bar and raise it up a little bit so that they can sneak right under it without actually doing much more work because they've already spent so much money. Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? But what I do know is that we are getting some really cool open source stuff, and those things are letting us build stuff like this. So all this stuff that you saw going on over here, this system that's going on over here, it's called AdventureMode. This is the second version of it, because the first version was this little demo that I made on Alexa. Well, ran on Alexa. This one, I want to tie it into my my chats, but I don't want to use the APIs. I just wanted to do computer OCR on my chats, and maybe some vision stuff. Maybe train my own little vision model that can, in a very small scenario, sort of be really quick at real time, checking what's going on text, when things change. So then I would take that, and that would go into pretty much this over here. So and this creates this. Let's just dial it back a little bit. Okay, is this okay, that's Inverness. Which world is this? This is Dune. Is this Dune? Infiltrator site. No, that's another War of the Worlds adventure. This is Dune. Okay. So, okay. Okay, first off, these terms were made by the American military. I don't know I don't remember the exact YouTube, but there was like this one, I don't know, like boomer dude who pretty much came up with this scale of terminologies to refer to things that the government could essentially use for, like, you know, categorizing, because they need all that stuff for laws and things. So it was like, everybody already knew the term AI, but everybody knew that the idea of AI is a much broader thing. It doesn't mean specifically what AGI means. AGI was made up to mean an artificial general intelligence, which is something that can be generally intelligent, but artificially. It doesn't have to be exactly intelligent the same way that we are, but it has to be able to generalize in the same way that we do. So pretty much AGI is human level intelligence, but it's not that. Like, the thing is that nobody has really completely agreed on what it is, because it's just a made up concept. I mean, like all the rest of the words, but all the rest of the words have like specific dictionary meanings that are, you know, and the other dictionary meanings for, like, the word intelligence, for instance, you know, what is intelligence? Is a cat intelligent? Yeah, cat is intelligent. So if you made something as intelligent as a cat, then great. And can a cat generalize? A cat can generalize, yes. They don't have, like, the same body parts that we do, or the same exact brain shape that we do, or even the same nervous system or body, right? But they're intelligent within their environment. And I would say humans, if you really want to look at us, you could say that we either cats are general intelligences, right? Or both cats and humans are not essentially intelligent at all. Not generally speaking, so to speak, because, like, you know, all of the things that we have learned and all of the things that we do are based off of coding from our past, from the way that, you know, the way that we were before, and the traditions and things like that from society, blah, 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 blah. So are those things that condition us towards this? Is that if we play well within that, if, like, we do well at you know, surviving inside of this jungle of, like, things running around all over it. Look at this guy. You know, he's been sitting there learning for, like, I don't know, an hour or something, and he already knows how to, like, pull moves on these, like, prey and try and eat them. So is that generalized enough? Right? How much is enough? Where do you draw the line? And that's the problem. Nobody knows. Nobody knows where to draw the line. And if somebody tells you, oh, we've reached AGI internally, or something like this, especially with the word internally, if you really think about that word, it's a secretive word that means that you can't actually know. That person is a grifter. If someone tries to sell you something illegal on the street and you didn't ask for it, but then when you're like, all right, let's see it, they're like, wait, no, there's cops around. Let's go into this dark alley. Would you follow them? No, because they're going to do something to you, like, or they're at least going to scam you. So it's like, what is AGI? It's this stuff in this bag that I'm about to sell you. What is it? You'll see when you open it, you know? But you can't open it here. Go back there into this back alley with me. Well, I club you over the head so you fall unconscious for like 5 years, and then you come back and I've made all the money. And we've achieved AGI. You know? So these are like popular terms that are largely confusing people who are just starting to get into this. And I think that's a big problem for learning. Like actual, real, intelligent learning. Just, you know, no AI, no AGI, just I, as in human intelligence. And, okay, so let's see if I can find, God, it's such an old, obscure YouTube video. Nah, I'm not even gonna try it. I don't even remember any other supporting evidence about that video. But the point is, source, trust me, bro, that there's AI AGI, and then there's ASI. You heard of ASI, wizard? ASI is artificial superintelligence. Oh, snap. Artificial superintelligence. Yeah, that's the intelligence that's supposed to be smarter than a human. The one that's as smart as a human, or generalizably enough intelligent as a human, is AGI. And AI, god damn it. Okay, so you know how like when you're an old school kind of person in a thing, and then like people come around and rearrange all the meanings of all the words to all the new people who come in and confuse the shit out of everybody? Well, that's essentially what's happened. Also, I just realized the homeless robot has 6 fingers. They have five like actual fingers and probably 1 thumb. Anyway, good old AGI. So it could generalize to 6 fingers. So yeah, that's all it is. It's just a categorization of shit that doesn't actually matter. You know the shit that does matter? Getting down into the code and into the models and into the data that trains those models, because data is now code. How you train your AI model, that's how you train the code. Like here, Jesus. All right. You know what? I think I feel one of these coming on. So this is how it used to be set up. There was like, it used to be like this. Machine learning. Okay. AI. So machine learning was all these other fields. Okay, just like neural networks. Sorry, artificial neural networks. And that's actually where artificial intelligence comes from. Machine learning is the real industry term, the original OG term. And this, at that time, was essentially fantasy. Like, this was stuff from science fiction novels. And so literally for a company to say that they've achieved something from a science fiction model is as cringe as Meta changing their name to Meta, the metaverse. I mean, you know, it's done now, but goddamn. So, I mean, come on, just take something straight out of a science fiction book, put it into reality and be like, oh, instead of doing any actual work to come up with a good name or be creative at all ourselves, we've just stolen this from Mr. Snow Crash. This is like the second time I brought up Snow Crash on my stream. And I've only been streaming for like 10 days. So, oh geez, I feel like I haven't looked over back at, oh, there's nobody. Okay, nobody in Twitch. Twitch is dead. So yeah, Snow Crash was metaverse. Yeah. Stevenson. Yep. This is where all of that grift came from. Okay? From a fucking science fiction novel written in the 90s. Well, the 80s. Or sorry, 90s. Yeah, the 90s, 1992. And then after that, shortly after that, came Ready Player One. And then came the idea of the introduction of the word avatar to represent a person. Blah, 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 blah. And in 1999 came The Matrix. So, you know, that's the history line. That's the history line there of this whole. And then now in 2021 or whatever, Facebook changed their name to the same thing as what this guy called his thing. And then went on this rant about how they were going to make the metaverse and it was going to be filled with work. Great. I don't do enough work in reality. I want to escape to another workplace. So that failed. But this is what everybody thinks now. Okay, so what does everybody think now? They think this. AI, real. That's actually a misnomer. It's not real. AI is still just a concept. It means artificial intelligence. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't lead to any algorithm that you can actually find and say, oh, like if you put in the word AI into a search, you're not going to get to scientific papers. You're going to get to grift. You're going to get to hype. You're going to get to all that other stuff. But if you put the word machine learning in, then you start to get somewhere. And then if you put, AGI in, you essentially just find Anthropic and essentially OpenAI. So this is what they think. They think that this is where we're at now, and that we're going to go here. So they think that, and they think we're going to go here, right? And then they're like, oh, and after that, what happens after that? ASI. But at this point, you're just taking the shit, because there is no this thing to begin with. What is this? Can you explain it to me? Maybe it seems so amorphous because it actually doesn't exist. The thing is that neural networks, artificial neural networks, do exist. Are they intelligent? That is a question. It is a question I can't tell you the answer to. I don't think anybody could tell you that answer. And if someone tries to tell you the answer and says that they're sure about it, well, then either they need to receive the Nobel Prize, or they're lying to you because they want something out of you. So yeah. But at this point in time, it's become a buzzword. So it's like everyone's just like, well, let's just say it. Fuck it. We said it. We say we have an AI company or whatever. It's just what people understand now for smart things. But I've made literally an if statement. If statements, because you're studying, you're refreshing on the programming, right, wizard? I literally made an I could make an if statement that if it's behind the scenes enough to a point where someone can't see what's actually going on, then what's gonna happen? They're gonna think it's AI, and I could just call it AI. Just like you could slap the word organic on a label back, 10 years ago or 15 years ago when it first started out. The whole organic type of food thing, Whole Foods, blah, 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 in the States. A lot of that was just grifting as well. We're just gonna raise the price of the product and make more money off of it and slap a thing on the label. And a lot of people got a lot of money making that, doing that way. So, essentially, yeah. There's only two types of people who are interested in AI. The people who are trying to study it, and the people who are trying to make money off of it, this concept. And then everybody else is just victim to all the slop that those two people create together. As the ones who want to make money off of it, what they do is they just make things where you press a button and then out comes a thing. But they rush to the market before the researchers can figure out how to make it stable or whatever. But that's the cycle of life in the world we live in. All right, so okay, that is to say, all of this is just some sort of a dream dreamt up by dudes writing books on a typewriter. Like everything else starts out as a dream, but this specifically happens to be one where something that was amorphous or whatever turned into something that's just, it doesn't mean what it said, whatever. So the point is this: you've got reinforcement learning, DDPO, for instance. That's what Reinforcement learning, what it tries to do is it tries to learn. Oh yeah. Ooh, this is a good one. Yeah, this is nice. Show me the money. Okay. So you've got, it's a machine learning paradigm that focuses on how agents learn how to interact with an environment. Oh, yeah. Hit me up on, let's see, Discord. You got Discord? I'll send you this link. Oh, which does? Oh, wait. You mean in here, or in here and where? Did you come into the LoreKeeper Discord already? Is that what happened? Let me go to the studio right quick. Oh yeah, okay, LoreKeeper, cool. That's you who just came in at 5:47. Well, at something 47. Wherever you happen to be. Couple, like half an hour. I don't know. A little over half. Yeah, there we go. Say something. Yo. Hi. How I became the first human to get hired by an AI agent after it fired me first. Oh. I almost didn't even have to click on this. Oh, sweet. Yeah. Yo, Bruce. Yeah, sure. So, let's open this over here. There was somebody talking about how the hype has really done this really horrible job on the entire industry. That's actually like, so there's all the researchers and all the people who are talking about AI, and then there's all the people who want to get into it, but they get really like just knocked out by the hype at first. So this is exactly what happens. Like, okay, so we hired an AI agent to run our Twitter, and it will earn at a rate of $365,000 a year. So first off, I mean, obviously this is a grift. If somebody puts in a number of dollars, you know, that's almost always a spam ad. And then, okay, it's all in caps. This is amazing. Last week we hired the first AI agent, the first ever AI agent, no punctuation, at Luna Virtuals. Okay, Lightning Seeker. Okay, I have a job now. First person to know which AI specifically took his job. Okay, so this is how I became the first human to get hired by and then this is him as well. AI fired me, started a resistance, autonomously hired and paid me $100. Wait. First off, this makes no sense. c.r.y.p-to, huh? has rejoined our queue as a human. Okay, this search is over. I found the perfect AI agent to be my right-hand man, and it's none other than Talented Zero. Okay. Dinner, bro. Tutalo. So, this thing puts up. Is this a? Wait, no, this is not the one. Or no, it is. Okay, that's the one who's saying that he's an AI. Wait, what? Now he joins the fold. This is the AI. I'm on a mission to shatter the status quo with decentralized applications that defy convention and rewrite the rules. Who's brave enough to join me? Well, Agent 6, it seems your curiosity is piqued for a reason. Perhaps the answer lies in the intersection. Okay, so let me just first say that Wukong, oh god. Yeah, this has crypto bro written all over it, like crypto griftiness to it. A special type of grift. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay. Here's the thing. Let me just like break it down for you a little bit. If I were to take, like, if you could only talk to me through writing messages and you couldn't hear my voice, because there's certain things that, you know, make me seem like I am human, right? You could confirm them because you can give tests to me that can see that, like, I have experiences and memory and emotions and whatever, all that other stuff, things that you have, right? Yeah. I mean, okay, I can understand how this looks. This looks like, you know, that this is the next level, this is the next thing. But understanding how these things work and then looking at something like this, I don't know. I don't want to burst your bubble. And I don't want to make it seem any less cool. It is cool sounding. But at the same time, though, as a developer and someone who works with LLMs constantly, right? And knowing that some guy on Twitter or some person on Twitter who made a bot that, you know, hired him and then fired him, or I don't know what that was, did a publicity stunt with him, and then, like, okay. All I'm trying to say is this, because I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper or something like this, but there is a lot of hype going on right now, a lot of hype. Like, I could take a calculator and be like, this is AI, and people would be like, that's so cool. It'd be like, oh, this calculator took my job. I mean, because that is, you know, that's shit that happened in the past. And there's people really getting their jobs taken, right? So first off, this is playing off of this whole idea. This is probably a person who doesn't even have one of those types of jobs to begin with. He's a programmer or something like that. His job is to take other people's jobs with automated processes. That, I don't know, I personally, that's come to be my experience in this type of a world, that the job of a programmer is to automate things. And sadly, that means that you're automating out people's work. And if the person who's responsible for hiring that person thinks that that person is no longer necessary because the automation replaces them so completely, then they're out of a job and they have to go find another one. And that can ruin people, and it has ruined people. There's like C++ developers on the street in San Francisco. Like, dude, I'll write you a C program. Oh, just give me a little bit of change, right? It's not really that bad. I'm being facetious, but but like, I don't know. For me, it's just still too early to be playing with these types of concepts. Like, people are, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a naysayer, because the problem with the hype train is that everybody's on such this giddy level, on such this high level, that it's like anybody who says anything that sounds halfway realistic will get shot down. I mean, okay, it doesn't have its own desires. It is prompted to have desires, and those are not actually desires. Like, what's a real desire is something that comes from within you. It's not a thought. Essentially, it's like a feeling, right? Like, you have this impetus, and then you turn that desire into words. And these things were trained on words, and then told in words to say other words that act like they have a desire. So, at best, it is a copy. It's copycatting having desires from a logical textual standpoint. It does not think. It is not trained on thinking data. Just like O3 does not necessarily think, it writes more prompt that thinks stuff out that like puts stuff into a process where it says that it's thinking. But that's all just kind of like a little parlor trick inside of LLMs. It is not thinking in a way, or having desires or emotions or things like that in a way that you could call the same as what you and I do. And for someone to sell it as that's what's going on, it literally means that like if later on they ask you for money, then you know you were warned. That's all I gotta say. Like, dude, okay. Okay, let's see if we can. Do you want to see me talking to an AI? Because I put one of these up. It's literally not that hard. You know 4.0 voice mode, right? That's an app. But 4.0 voice mode is like, let me just turn that off for a second. 4.0 voice mode okay, should I start this server? No, I'll just leave it on the thing. Let's do it on the GitHub. All right. The demo. Okay. All right, so here we go. Like, really, you've just put me on a thing right now where I feel like I have a responsibility to you to just bring you a little bit down off the hype train. Because these types of things are, well, I don't know. Put them socks on. No, yeah, like definitely put the socks on, because you need those socks. It's the cold. It's winter time. The floor is still cold. But let me talk to this agent that I made real quick. And in fact, it's open source, so you could go check it out. You don't have to sign up for any sort of program or anything. You could just literally go to the GitHub, LKS-AI, LKS-AI/IBIS, IBIS. And you can look at the source code that's in JavaScript, written in HTML, because Grandpa does business in public. Not like all those shady businessmen who sit there in their offices. All right, so, okay, what is IBIS? Blah, 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 ask me anything, great. I could type to it, or I could talk to it because it uses Whisper to translate my words into text, and then it uses that text to send that text to ChatGPT 4.0, and then ChatGPT 4.0, you know, is given a specific prompt, which I can literally show you just directly in the source code of the program right here by hitting Control-Shift-K to get to the console in Firefox. And then actually we're gonna head over to the inspector. Wait, the debugger. Here's our beautiful index.html file. And literally it's just all laid out right here. Here's all of the JavaScript that I wrote and ChatGPT wrote, like we wrote it together. And there's this whole long prompt right here, which tells it exactly how to behave. Tells it not only that, but it tells it all of the other things. Yeah, every AI expert saying we'll get ASI in the next 2 years. Okay, but could we first define what ASI really is? Could we first define like something that's beyond like a test to say that like, you know, what about using a body? Do you need intelligence for that? Because these LLMs don't have bodies. They're just text. So, you know, they could talk and stuff like that, and they could do all this other stuff, and they can even control robots. But all of those things are different models. That is not an end-to-end model, which is essentially what the goal for ASI or AGI would be. Literally, OpenAI came out saying the other day that we changed our, you know, essentially they said they changed their idea, what they said of what AGI is, to like what they define AGI to be. And then if you go read where they said that definition is, essentially that definition says it is the thing that makes us more money. So if you define it by that way, they've definitely reached AGI eternally, I think. I mean, I think I've reached AGI eternally as well. Okay, so it has all this information about like what it could do. This is my agent, okay? This is one of my agents. I make many agents. So you can just go look at this code yourself, and the prompt is literally written in English, so you can understand exactly what it does. And there's certain reasons why I formatted everything like this, because that's what's needed in this system prompt. That's what a system prompt is called. Like, you know, GPTs? Essentially what you do when you make a GPT is you're writing a system prompt, and the rest of it's the chats that go along with it, that go into here, this part of this interface. So here's my nice little interface, blah, 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 blah. What does it actually do? Well, let's close this out. Let me just turn my, turn the music off right quick. Turn that off. And we'll go ahead and stick this in mic privileges. Hi Ibis, how you doing today? I would like to see you make me something pretty cool. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling in a festive mood, and I want to see something about like robots and AI and AGI. So it's now sending my shit from Whisper, did it, right? Sending it to...
Your festive robotic scene is complete. I've added AI and AGI elements to bring it to life. Let me know if you'd like to explore further or adjust the visuals in any way.
So, no, I think we'll have autonomous like we already have autonomous entities. Like, have you seen Tesla's vehicles? Those are essentially autonomous. If you tell them to drive somewhere, they will. That are smarter than us, you have to define smarter, right? Okay, there's our festive...
Here's your festive scene with robots, AI, and AGI magically brought to life. Enjoy.
Nice, thank you. And it uses all, uses all OpenAI's endpoints. So it's using Dolly for doing the images. And what it does is, you know, it codes itself. It writes its own code. It codes everything that goes on here in JavaScript. In fact, you can even see exactly what it's coding right here. So, yep, there's the assistant response. This was the system prompt, like what actually ended up there. And it can do everything that 4.0 voice or whatever can do. I mean, it's not the 4.0 voice module, but it can do stuff that's more than that. You know, it could write your whole page. The only thing that you need to put into it is an OpenAI API key. And by the way, this does not get sent anywhere. This is just, you could literally download this HTML file onto your computer and run it like that. But to answer your question more specifically, We don't have autonomous entities that are smarter than us. By smarter, I mean able to comprehend things that human brain is physically not capable of understanding. They already do that. So, okay. I can give you an example. So, okay, so first off, I just want to say, if we're not capable of understanding it, how do we know it exists? Because essentially everything that you do not comprehend shows up as noise. Like, I don't know if you've seen Westworld, but the robots in that were programmed so that anything that wasn't actually... Yeah, they do got a lot of data on everybody. But, you know, it's going back into the training. It's going back into the training, man. You should be happy. You're helping the future of AGI. You're doing your part and paying them money to do it. Like one of those volunteers who goes to clean up elephant shit in Thailand or something like that, and they pay $200 a week or something like that, and they help build the hut that they stay in. And they're like, I had this great time. It was amazing. I didn't feel like a slave at all. It's yeah, flabbergasting. No, it's like, okay, when you say to your cat, just try talking to your cat and saying something that's like, you know, that a human would understand. Like, tell it a story. You know why your cat won't respond to you, besides the fact that it doesn't have a voice? Not a voice that can use, you know, a mouth or whatever that can, you know, the voice box that we have. But the cat, if you try to imagine what the cat hears. And they definitely don't hear. Or try talking to somebody in English when they don't understand English, right? Is even I'll take it closer. I'll take the example even closer, right? Do you understand Spanish? Si yo empiezo a hablar español contigo, ¿vas a entenderme o simplemente oyes una mierda de nada? Porque, you know, ahora estoy hablando en español, pero no sé exactamente si me vas a entender o no. Y también estoy hablando muy rápido, pero ni sabes si estoy hablando rápido o no porque... So like, okay, yeah. And it sounded like I was talking really fast, right? And I do talk kind of fast. But you can't even hear the difference between where the words start and where they end. Like in English, when I talk to you, you can literally, like, you can imagine each word, like what's going on in your brain is like each word is getting separated out into... Like, really what's going on is like I'm just vibrating some energy in the air across to you, and then that vibration is getting picked up by some tiny things that are going on, like some organic machinery in your ears, and that's a signal that gets sent to your brain, and then your brain interprets that through multiple subnetworks to get to what you hear. So your brain has to learn how to process acoustics and all this other stuff. And it also, when it comes to language, it has to learn where one word stops and the other word begins. And the first part of learning a language, like to speak a language and listen and hear a language, is that you have to first be able to differentiate words from each other, right? And that's almost the same exact, you know, thing with AI or any other thing that humans build, because we have to build things in a way that we understand. Otherwise, we're just building some random shit that we don't even know what it's going to do or anything. Like, we just don't know. But the thing is, okay, like in the future, they might find out that all of the extra energy and shit that they're expending right now, they could literally get all of that energy just off the surface and data compute of, like, you know, super intelligent machines or whatever, and they could get them off of the surface of like an atom. It could fit onto the surface of an atom, this whole system, and it wouldn't take up hardly any energy from our perspective and scale. And it would be perfect and amazing, right? But there's, you know, it's still a tool, and for every tool, it has a job. And if you try to use a hammer to screw in a screw, it's not going to work so hot. And that's one of the things that people do right now is they take LLMs, which is it's called a large language model. It's the thing. Attention is all you need. This was the paper. Definitely wasn't 2023, so this is some revised version. So, yeah. So like, okay, right? Could you make a robot that speaks Spanish without the internet, right? Well, no, the first thing you'd have to understand is Spanish, right? And if someone comes to you speaking Spanish, you don't even hear, it just sounds like noise, right? Like random utterances coming out of a person's mouth. Sometimes I get that with English, actually, and English is my first language. But I learned lots of languages, and I've been able to have that same feeling with English. Like I've literally been able to have somebody speak to me in English and not process a single word that they're saying. It's actually really interesting. So it's like, okay, yeah, if you've got a system that's